everyone. Welcome to another episode of Salisbury Anarchy. The year is now 504. As I silently adjust that here in the background, let's meet our folks here. We'll start with Thomas.
Hello, my name is Thomas, and I will be playing Sir Edrich of Winterbourne, Stoke, Marshal of Salisbury, who had a good winter.
Mark, you looked a little different today. You want to?
Yeah, hi, I'm Mark. I will be playing Sir Florence, but also sometimes Dame Aranwi. I'll be playing Megan, playing Aranwi, but I am Mark.
Wow, it's meta. I like it.
She doesn't know what's happening currently because she lives in the woods.
Yep, that's an accurate statement. You know more about Wessex than everyone else. That's a positive thing, I suppose. And probably what we're going to be touching on today. You and Dallin, anyways. And then Liam.
Okay, good.
Hi, everybody. I'm Liam. I will be playing a little bit of Sir Dallin of Durnford / Black Boar Manor, and I will also be playing Sir Virgil of Durnford and what's the other one? Devices. That's the one.
Indeed. All right. In all seriousness, welcome in. We have Megan in from previously cameoed in the Salisbury games and also was a regular in the Summerland game. So lots of stuff going on right now. Let's talk about that first, and then we're gonna do a little scene with Aranwi and Dallin, and I'll set a little precursor, which is we need Aranwi to go to Sarum, because if we don't, then Megan has nothing to do. But we'll parking lot that for a moment, and we'll continue on. So in recent years, the land of Gales or Wales have started to merge into or conquest into Logres. They've actually taken quite a bit of Logres. A lot of them have bent the knee to King Nanteleod. Some have allied with King Nanteleod, but that is happening closer and closer to Summerland and Salisbury. Yay.
That's not great.
Yeah. It depends on how you feel about that one. London fell last year, which is really exciting. The Saxons took London, which has crippled the economy for just about everybody that isn't Saxon or a Saxon ally. So that's also wonderful. What else here? For a little while, the Saxon shore liberated itself, only to find new invaders in the Angles, who showed up. Another type of Saxon came in and crushed the Saxon shore, and actually took some of East Saxon away from East Saxon. So more Saxons. To the Cornwall area, Cornwall Peninsula, I suppose. The King Idris of the Kingdom of Cornwall has conquered all of Duke Orlow's former Duchy of Cornwall, which was part of Logres. Now they're one. They tried to invade Dorset. It didn't go well. They've been sitting for a couple of years now. Everyone's wondering what their next move is. It's either Summerland, Salisbury, or Dorset. Rumors this year, which you don't know as Aranwi yet, but rumors this year is Summerland will be their next target for conquest. So forget that last part. The rest you've probably heard some wind of. And Salisbury's expanded slightly to the north, and they've taken the city of Wanborough in Gentian.
Well, as is their way.
Yeah.
Mr. Bob, can Dallin roll a diplomacy check to get any additional information that was not just detailed to us by you right now?
Yes, because I was about to just ask you to do that, so that's perfect timing.
Wonderful.
We'll start with that, and Aranwi, you can do intrigue as well, since you're along for the ride.
Oops, that was the wrong roll.
Yay! Yeah. I actually got better at
it. Oh, look at that accident there.
Yeah. Hey, man. Come on.
Gotta keep you
I know,
honest,
thanks.
you know.
I should probably add a preface. Mark had a planned away this week, so he'll be back next week. This is not a permanent change.
What do you mean? I am Mark.
Right. That's what I meant. Sorry about that.
Megan is
Sorry to
on
get
their
that
way to
wrong.
Australia right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to learn how to do the accent. It's not gonna go well.
Mark doesn't have too much of an Aussie accent. He's like me.
He has some accent, and it isn't mine.
That's fair. Okay, so Wessex is getting irritated. I think Dallin and Eranwi, you both kind of, spending time in court there. They're still very hospitable to the two of you, but when they speak of Salisbury, there's not even an attempt anymore to talk about them positively. It's slights towards Robert, slights towards Ellen, slights towards the Marshal Edrich. They are obviously every Easter they send forth. Every Easter they send forth a delegate, usually with Prince Kenric at the helm, or Atheling Kenric at the helm. This year's no different, except for you can feel it in the air. Tensions are high. This year matters. Matters probably more than any other year for diplomacy with Wessex. And for the first time ever, I think, Dallin, you feel like I think you're feeling like war is on the horizon.
Oh joy.
You've done a good job. I mean, they've only raided once in Salisbury's vulnerability days. Now, I think what's probably increased tension is the wedding between Salisbury and Silchester last year. That's something around me you'd be aware of. Is Lady Ellen's daughter married Duke Ulfius's son last year.
Mm-hmm.
They are feeling a little frightened by that new powerhouse alliance.
I think what you're getting the impression of too is they very much value their strength, and they seem to have value in expectation that the other Saxons would unite under them if they waged war.
And if last time I remember, they were already having issues with another Saxon faction. How's that going?
Port has settled in under Wessex as like a vassal state now. It seems like
Gotcha.
as long as King Port gets his area, he's happy to play the part of a vassal for Cedric. And Cedric's eyes are on the High King, like all of Britain. So he's like, let them have their little parcel of land. It won't be much in the grand scheme of what we're after.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Well, fuck. I think Dallin will continue to do their job and just, smile through the insults hurled at her homeland and kiss her hot Saxon wife, and also make sure that it is known that the door is still open for another path forward. I think Dallin's going to continue to emphasize that all her life she has been taught to hate Saxons for what they have done and for their invasions, and there have been years, decades of deaths on both sides between the two of them, and nobody has won yet. And nobody's going to it's going to continue that way. There is always going to be death and destruction until they find a different way forward. So, I think Dallin is going to continue to push for a different something other than war.
Still seeking peace at the end of the day. Now,
Has to.
Now,
have to.
with this increased tension, do you does it make sense that Dallin would either one go back to Salisbury with, or to Sarum with Eronmi, or two send Eronmi in as that delegate back?
That depends.
Yeah.
How safe would it be for Oranway to travel alone? If Dallin has an impression that the Saxons will keep their word and let Oranway head back, then Dallin will stay. Their job is here. If otherwise, they'll ride with Oranway there and then come immediately back.
Yeah, I think it's relatively safe. In fact, Eronmi could travel as part of the Wessex delegate, unless you wanted to make a different statement. That would.
No,
it has
I
a
think
little
that
bit of a
works.
flavor of like traveling with the the enemy, but she's representing Dallin, not representing the Saxon.
Yeah, I think Dallin will even give a token of some kind to Oranway that is like something that Dallin owns, that's theirs, as like they are going with my blessing kind of thing. And they'll give a nice little pep talk to Oranway, and then they will choose to stay in Wessex to continue to fight in the way that they are best at now. Their soldiering days are over, but they can be of help here.
Dallin's like 44 now, 45,
46.
Wow, yeah,
Whoa.
Yeah.
getting up there. And
Dallin's getting there.
Have they has their body failed them in any particular place, like noticeable place from where they were?
No.
Once? Okay, that's good.
Actually, Dallin, I think, is holding up to aging better than Perin is. Their lowest stat is Dex, and that's at a 10. Their size is 11, but they were never very large. Their con is 11, but they were never very con. And their appearance has fallen to 12 in that they just have aged, But their strength's still 14. Like they're just not. They're decent. They're still very decent for a 46-year-old knight, but they are not. They are not exceptionally far behind. They regularly have to still wrestle with and chat with Saxons. I think they're still holding their own just fine.
Awesome. Okay, so unless Dallin has something in particular that they want to do back in Sarum, probably just sending Damer on me makes good sense then.
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
Before I head out, just to be clear, what is precisely my goal in
maybe
with
let's
this delegation?
let's do a little in character with Dallin and around me. That makes sense. So, kind of the scene is why don't you both roll me a D100? Let's see what the recent tension scene was over. What it was like. 47.
47.
All right, let's see. Oh, thank God I do remember.
Okay. You overheard Prince Kinrick, or Aethling Kinrick, talking to his. Do you remember the Gwesi? Do you remember what those are? Those are the half Kimri, half Saxon that went with. They fought for Vortigern, and then they went with Cerdic all those years ago. So these are basically the cavalry knight, like they're basically knights. A lot of them aren't knighted, but they wear chainmail, they ride like knights, they fight like knights. They're just not brought through the pomp of being knighted, per se. Anyways, Prince Kinrick is talking to his Gwesi as they're kind of ready for the delegation in a few days. So they're going to embark for Salisbury for Easter. And one of his second-hand men asks him, anything of note this year? And he says, only that father is certain. Salisbury will pay. They will bend the knee. Or they will become part of us.
Exciting.
I think you both kind of overheard that from a hallway, echoed down the hallway. So they didn't realize you were there.
I think Aranwi, Salisbury is Dallin's home, and so she kind of like glances over to Dallin. Did you hear that?
Yes. It's not unexpected, but it is troubling.
Right. Should we do anything about that? Can we do anything about that?
Dallin stays quiet for a second, and then they turn to Runway and they go, Runway, you've been with me for a few years now, and I've appreciated your company immensely. You're wise and kind, and bolder than most men I know. Thank you for that. But I have a favor to ask you.
I can do that. Well, what do you want?
I'd like you to come with me to my home and take an item, something that belongs to me, back to Salisbury. Make sure they know what's coming and that I'm still here trying to prevent it. Give my love to my family. And do what the leadership there asks. There should be a man named Edrich there. I don't know if you've met him before. But
I did at a party once. I think I met a wedding.
He's a good man, and he's very well informed. I suspect that he'll know what to do next.
All right. What will they ask me to do? I think.
I don't know. I haven't been home in so long, and when I'm there, I only see the feasts. But I trust, at the very least, that Edrich sees the bigger picture in ways that I can't from where I'm standing. He won't let you down.
All right. Then I won't let you down either. Thank you for trusting me.
Good. Let's get something to eat. I wonder what Wolfgiff was making for dinner tonight.
Is that your wife's name?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, your hot Saxon wife.
It means wolf gift in Anglo-Saxon.
It could be worse. It could be
Wolf
sex wolf.
gift?
That's the one.
Could be sex wolf.
Yeah.
I think Dallin would not be opposed
think
to that,
that's
honestly.
Sex wolf literally translates to sword wolf. Not,
Sword.
but
Ooh.
it is also a very sexy wolf.
Sexy
Yeah,
wolf, 'cause
that's
it's got a
like
sword.
double cool.
Yeah, it's got a sword. I mean, how can that not be?
All right, random asides. We'll move forward with that. Are you going to ride separately, like solo, or are you going to ride with the delegation?
They've been friendly to us mostly.
Hospitable.
Hospitable.
Yeah.
What would Dallin's recommendation be?
I think they're a little like Dallin has what's Dallin's diplomacy? Do we have diplomacy for Dallin? We should.
Dallin's yes, Dallin does have diplomacy. Dallin's got a 20 diplomacy.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
So I think Dallin's done a good job.
She's been putting in the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been putting in the work.
Aranwi, why don't we get
Okay.
you to test an intrigue and we'll see how well or actually we're gonna get you to test a courtesy. Let's see how yeah.
So you hate me.
You upped that in your 20 years of being out and
Oh.
about, right?
My courtesy is only slightly worse than my intrigue.
Yeah.
This still isn't good. It's a 9.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Oh.
You've actually frowned. I don't know about friendship. You're probably on guard here. Test trusting versus suspicious. So we have a new way we do this now. You get to choose which one you test, and if it succeeds, that's just what succeeds. If it fails, then you test the other one. If you're famous in either, you have to test the famous one. So if you're 16 or above, you have to test that one.
That's scary. Can I still do it the old way?
Yeah, sure. Because it's just for your own play.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I like the feeling of hedging my bets. Okay. Maybe I don't like the feeling of hedging my bets anymore. Man, whatever. Fine.
You've actually gotten along with. I'm gonna give one a Saxon name and one a Kimric name. Give me a second.
Oh my god, I've got friends. Yay.
So here's
How attached
here's
are
a
you to
random
them?
Kimri. Right? Edric's like,
Edric,
I'm gonna
please don't
kill
kill them.
everybody. Oh, that wasn't it. That's not a name of a Saxon. It's a Saxon warrior.
My friend Riziart and my other friend Spearman, Great Spear 17.
That's his name. That's what he
Good
goes
old
by.
That's his name, yeah.
There we
Good
go.
old 17.
Devon, as we call him.
Alfric. Yeah, so Alfric
All right.
and these are just two like a Vigwesi that you've actually gotten along with. Especially they remind you a little bit more. It's kind of like because you don't have a lot of pomp about. Like you were knighted in a hedge knight fashion, right? These two don't go by sir. They remind you a lot more of like your own experiences as a mercenary knight or as like a household knight, and a lot less like
I think I was actually knighted by the prince.
Yeah, you were actually. You were.
Fully knighted by the prince in the middle of a battlefield. It was great.
You were riding around. Oh right. Were you knighted that far back?
I've been knighted for a good long while. I forget the exact circumstances. We saved the prince, and when he like emotionally recovered from being held prisoner in Ferry for that long.
Oh right.
He
Yep.
knighted.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I am just making mention more so they remind you more of like the easygoing knights you might run into somewhere versus the pompous ones that you've run into in other parts of Logres. So
Yeah.
Okay. So
right, then I'll travel with my bros. I like them.
All right. With that, we're gonna go ahead and switch over to FaceTime. When we last left off,
FaceTime.
You all had a really emergency conversation. There are a couple of familiar faces here around me. So let's go ahead and.
I love familiar faces usually.
Yeah, you'll probably like one and dislike the other. So we'll see how.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and just give me a sec to get everything set up here properly. And then we'll head over so everyone can see.
Whoa,
it.
Sir Florence, what are you doing here?
Right?
Alright guys, I'm switching characters.
How's your hair
play
flip?
Florence?
Fantastic.
Wow,
It's like
that was
she's-
pretty good.
It's like she's here with us.
I've got like
Quick,
almost the same length. Oh no, Florence's hair is really long now on his icon. I have the same hair length as a young Florence.
quick, say something that implies that Florence is not only just the most reasonable character among us, but also by far the least reasonable character among us.
I just think that serving girl hot. I don't know.
See, it's really magic that Mark works with it, isn't it? It's much harder to do when you're trying to do it on the spot.
All right. There's Ranwi. Let's see here. There is no Elaine this year. There is Kinrick.
Put him back.
What's that?
Put him back. I don't like this one. I like the old one.
There is a delegate from
Where is he?
Nanteleod. Let's see. I'll cut over so folks can see it.
He looks fine. He looks the same. Handsome.
No, I meant to say that replacing Sir Elaine is a downgrade in Edric's eyes.
Yes. Well.
Well, there is someone else. I just gotta narrow his icon here real quick. There is Sir Locke is here from delegation from Nanteleod.
He looks like he's trying to keep a frog in his mouth.
He is.
It looks like
You
he's
know?
succeeding too.
He's
Check
doing
the
a great
rivers.
job of it.
I think we've recently.
Frog.
You guys have recently met Sir Locke, yes? Like as an adult?
I
feel
don't
like it.
recall.
I feel like it sounds familiar, but I don't remember any time of recent history.
Oh
Okay.
yes, was it last time? He was the second son of the kingdom, right? Yes, we have met him as an adult.
Second son of Estragales, yeah.
Yeah.
The one that Perin would know him really
yeah.
well.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Just to set up.
Edrich killed his master after he killed the king and tried to blame it on the eldest son of the king.
I remember that. Good times.
There's that. And then for the other guests, let me just grab them real quick. There is Lady Nineveh is here. Yes.
I do know her. Wow,
You do.
hi.
She's like one of the least favorite characters of most of the players at this point in the game. And then,
I like her.
I think Ron, we liked her.
Yeah,
I think.
I think
I don't know,
that's
what's
probably
Beatrice's
true.
opinion on her?
Beatrice does not like her.
Well, I trust
There-
Beatrice.
There's been a lot though, to be fair.
Oh, it's
and-
true. She might not have updated opinions from Beatrice.
And then Nimue is with her.
Oh my gosh, hi, Beatrice's little sister. Oh, she's grown up.
Yeah, she's
Wow.
probably even a little like I'm trying to do the math. I think she's like 18 or 19 now. That's probably not the best reflection because it used that for 499 was 16, I think. So yeah, 4 more years. So yeah, almost 20. So, yeah. So that is the feast setup. We're gonna get both Virgil and Edrich. I want you to both give me a intrigue roll.
Absolutely. Success.
Success. That says Dallin, but that is Virgil's role.
Understood. Florence is seen talking to some old man, and then right after it, he just split. He just
Oh.
left.
Oh my god, they killed him.
This
Damn it,
fucking
Merlin.
guy. Goddamn spy, hopping around the place talking with old men, leaving to go inform the King of Cornwall that he talked to an old man, probably.
He's absolutely probably maybe going to do that depending on who the old man is.
This is so fucked up.
As
And then-
Mark, I think we should all be very nice to Florence, actually, and be more understanding of where he's coming from. So,
I understand incredibly well. That's the issue.
you know exactly where he's coming from, the
You're like,
bastard.
oh, I fucking understand. I understand.
And I don't understand at all, and that's the problem.
There's a middle ground.
Why won't
where
someone
we're
tell
just
me?
knowledgeable enough and just ignorant enough that it's all good all the time.
Awesome. Okay, one last thing. The Barony of Wareside. Remember Baron Duoc who died? Y'all remember him?
Indeed.
Barony of Wareside was sieged last fall. Set ablaze, many of the common folk slaughtered.
Oh.
What butchers would do something like that? We shall reclaim the land and have our pound of flesh.
Lots of finger pointing they came from the trees, so lots of blaming on those monster armies that sit in the forest between Salisbury and Summerlin.
I hate those guys. I was going to give money to Summerlin.
Yeah. It's still unclear too whether they're taking direction from Summerland. The suspicious folks say they are. Others don't think they're real, and that they're just probably some kind of bandits in the area, you know?
I'll give you 3 guesses as to which of those parks Edrich is in.
Well, I know. I don't need a guess. Okay, let's roll some app rolls here, or placement. Let's see where y'all
I'm
sitting.
gonna crit of the salt.
You're gonna crit of the salt.
Yes. There is meowing at my window as Armand has managed to get outside.
He's loose.
Oh. Shockingly, I've failed my app roll.
He's loose.
I mean,
Sit
There
on
we
the
go.
fucking salt.
All right. Oh, speaking of which, what are we feasting on today?
indeed.
Okay,
Is that a
Hazlitt.
fish?
1 second.
I feel like I feel like when we looked that up,
looking
it was a fish.
Hazlitt is English pork and sage meatloaf.
Ah, that's right.
Sounds
Okay,
pretty tasty.
that sounds good to me.
Indeed.
All right. So it's only a 2-round feast. Turns out that the dowry. Wait, how does dowry work? Does dowry get paid from
They
the?
pay us, baby.
They pay you, okay. Despite that, Lady Ellen will be crunching this year, so it's a 2-round feast rather than 3. Things are tight. There's a war on the horizon. Literally, I'm gonna take a moment to just show the map here because I think it's important for the purposes of what's going on.
Oh my god, is that England?
Yep, it's England.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's
So-
border gore is what it is.
Up here is Nanteleod, right? God damn fucking stupid thing. Okay, there we go. Up here is Nanteleod. There's one county between them and the border of Salisbury, and that's Clarence, the county of Clarence. There's threat from your forests in between Summerland and Salisbury. Cornwall's at your border on this side, and you have Wessex on this side. So you basically are Cornwall's an invader, Wessex is an invader, Nanteleod is technically an invader depending on how you feel about it. You're one county away from being surrounded by 3 separate invaders, which is starting to turn like Summerland and Salisbury into like the war staging grounds for these groups, and
Yep.
probably makes them very tempting. You know, who should conquer you guys first? That's kind of the conversations. So
Is why I wish the
Hey.
monsters from the woods would stop attacking us.
hey man, don't talk to me.
Perhaps. What if we tell all of them that whoever wins a 3-way fight between them wins Salisbury, except for they have to go and hold that down in the forest to clear some land. We'll make a little area that's away from our borders. That way we just kind of, we're all on the same page about it.
You joke. That's been Edric's fervent wish and prayer for like 5 years at this point. He wants nothing more than Nanteleod and Idris to fucking duke it out.
Love it.
Somewhere that isn't Salisbury.
Alrighty. Well, we can go right into the feast at this point. When the feast is already underway as Edrich and Virgil arrive, because you guys are coming back from the meeting with Robert, the young Earl and his mother. And we'll start with Edrich.
Absolutely. As much as Edrich would like to draw some cards, there are two things to be done. One is the matter concerning Summerland, the other is the matter concerning Kinrick, who is here right now. I would like to, if I can, speak to either to the Lady Nineveh, Summerland's representative here.
Right. Yes, you can. They are not above the salt either. They're probably near the salt. Yes. Yeah. I think Nimue was offered to stay above the salt, and she opted not to, so she could stay with Nineveh.
Indeed.
What a lady.
Edrich, this is more of a clandestine thing than anything else, though he will come around with a plate of haslet and a cup of wine. He is going to swoop as he speaks to the lady in white. He will say, Lady Nineveh, I realize it has not been long since last we spoke, but I wanted to bend your ear about certain logistical matters.
Logistics. Sir Knight, do I look that part to you?
Do you want my honest opinion?
You have it one way or the other, whether I hear it or not.
Indeed. In this case, you came to Salisbury requesting aid. Aid that cannot be given with any degree of security or safety in an official manner. If we were to provide unofficial aid, how might we go about that? My first instinct is to give a gift to you and the young lady you are with, a gift that can be given with some degree of security and brought back to Summerland, material that can be used at the discretion of King Cadwy. Would that be something that you are equipped to handle?
She nods.
With that in mind, as you return to Summerland, travel along the river Winterbourne. Go by my castle and be treated as a guest for less than a day. You need not even stay there. You will be provided with a gift. That gift will be valuable. And I will provide, amongst other unofficial channels, some degree of mercenary assistance. Your survival against the forces of King Idris is something that is necessary for the cohesion of Logres as a whole. Though I cannot provide an army, I can help in my own way. This is entirely unofficial.
I understand. I'm sure with it we could summon a mercenary force that could assist us.
That is the intent. With my mind, I have recommendations. One, however, is quite far north, though I shall see if I can contact him. The other, however, already has a grudge against Cornwall, and I can provide you a list of names while there too. Thank you for your candor, Lady Nineveh. Try the haslet, it's delicious.
She nods. Oh, and about the knight that your wife took hostage.
Is this news to Edrich?
Yes, actually.
What?
The man in your holding cell. Well, he's not really a man, technically.
I see. Perhaps in this matter specifics might be necessary.
If I understand it correctly, Lady Oslef fended them off, unhorsed them.
Oh.
Did she not let you know about this?
No, I have been quite busy, though it does not surprise me. She is a formidable warrior.
Indeed. You are most fortunate, and so is your family. What was to be left in the place of your son would not have been your son.
The Fae once again make their pernicious moves known. Whether it's the strings pulled by Lord Alabaster or monsters from the forest, they seem to have it out for us.
Indeed. Though this was not anyone who dwells within the realm of Salisbury or those borderlands. It seems that you've upset someone in the Forest Sauvage.
I see. I think Edrich runs through a list of people. Like, would that be Lord Alabaster, or is that the Forest Gloom?
You know what we need in this game that we need to port over from Crusader Kings is a stress mechanic.
Edrich has that intrigue trait which increases his stats as he gets like higher thresholds.
Blood pressure rising. Yeah.
Blood pressure rising. But yes, Edrich says, I see. More enemies I do not need, but if they challenge us, then they shall be met with the steel of my blade and of Oslaf's axe. Thank you for letting me know, and indeed for letting me know that it is no man.
There is also news from Lindsay that Duke Corneus has allied with King Nanteleod, though it sounds more like a mutual defense pact than anything else.
That is good. The Centurion King will be held off quite easily, and King Lot will continue to bide his time.
Okay. Well, with that, we will... did you do an actual roll there?
Oh, I didn't.
I want a diplomacy roll for that one, actually.
Absolutely. My diplomacy is decently high.
Yeah, it's okay. As long as you don't fumble. I gotta use that magic spell of a phrase.
Indeed.
Okay.
And let me set up the geniality counter.
Alright, that brings us to Virgil for round one, rather.
Virgil for round 1, and we're doing 2 rounds only, yes?
Yep. Yes.
Cool. First round, I'm drawing cards. Second round, I am going to go talk to Aethlin Kenrick.
Hell yeah.
That's my plan.
Sounds good.
All right. Juicy Tail. I'm at... What glory am I at? I'm at 7,000 glory, so still 3 cards.
3 cards. Oh, yeah.
Oh, not to interrupt anything. Did you, when you did your winter phase, add your glory to your current sheet?
I don't think I did. I added the 50 that I had tracked. That was something that you wouldn't have access to, but I did not add the rest of my glory. Where's your... Where is it?
It's in Glory Tracker. You got 543 in the bank.
Okay, that's still...
It won't push you to...
That still would not... Yeah. 500... I'm going to just put that here for now. 543. Okay, I'll fix that later. All right. Excellent wine. Time to share or juicy tales. I missed the next round of the feast if I do juicy tales, so I'm not doing that. Excellent wine. Either make myself drunker or I check temperate. I'm probably going to end up making myself drunker. Ooh, but it gives me geniality. And then time to share. Suddenly your affairs seem inconsequential and you want your friends to enjoy them. When you draw a card for the feast, you may give it to another player. For every card given away, 1 geniality. Yeah, you know what? Let's excellent wine it. Let's do some excellent wine. We've got some good ass wine today, and it's probably from my vineyard actually.
My name's Virgil, and I'll be your sommelier today.
Your sommelier. This one is a red, and this other one is a white.
It's supposed to be white. It's more of a green, but that's okay.
It's yeah, I don't know why it's called that, honestly. Anyway. Okay. Temperate and indulgent +3. Fumble on temperate.
Oh,
That's actually good for me right now because I want to be a little drunk before I go and yell at this man. And a failure on
Well, as long
indulgent.
Okay.
as long as he's drunk.
Okay, so I guess indulgent wins.
Yeah, it does because of the fumble. They'll both bump down one, and then indulgent will count as just like a regular.
Right on. So I get 2 geniality, and I am also now drunk.
Yes.
Indeed.
+5 to flirting, orate, that guy, reckless, indulgent, that guy again, valorous, and -5 to everything else. Very fun. Very good.
And that's 3 geniality for you too. There you go.
Just 2. Oh no, because I'm
But one from-
near the
yeah.
salt. Yep.
All
Hell
right, and
yes.
then in enters Iranwi.
Ronway. Okay,
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
In between rounds, am I correct in that the players converge in between rounds?
They can,
Or
yes,
is that only if
absolutely.
they're
Yep.
already friends?
Yeah, you absolutely can. Yep.
Okay, spectacular. My only goal is Edrich, and I get him for free after this round. So, I'm gonna go talk to the one person people that I recognize, which is the magic lady that I think I have an okay relationship with, and the little sister of the girl I really like. My bestie.
Sounds good. And you're still rocking the by tree coat of arms? Or are you what are you using?
I don't know. That's a really good question. Because on one hand, she left because she felt really guilty about failing Gwynedd. She still feels that her loyalties are to Barrowcrest. You know what? I've got a passion for this. I have a passion for this.
Mm-hmm.
Not a passion, a trait. So let's just see. If there's a success on Gwynedd Guilt, then no. And if there's a failure, then yeah, she brought it out for here.
If success on Gwynedd Guilt, are you without a coat of arms then? Is that kind of the idea? Or
Yeah, sort of the like feeling unworthy.
yeah,
Of
like, knight
the
errant
tree.
very much. Okay.
Hey,
Oh, she's feeling good today.
Oh goodness!
She's got
Okay.
the,
Killed Liam.
She's got the.
I
Oh.
sneezed myself to death, and it was your fault.
All right,
Good.
then there you go.
All right.
And you go by Dame, yes? Dame Aranwi?
Yes.
Yeah,
Name Aranwi.
perfect.
Now here's a question. I'm kind of forgotten. I think she knows about Nimue in theory. Has she met her before? I can't remember.
But never
I'm-
in practice.
I'm almost positive you did. She would have been a lot younger. So I'm not going to give you a recognized role on Nineveh. I think you recognize Nineveh automatically. But I think for Nimue, because it's the aging thing, I'll do like, why don't we start with a recognized role? This won't be your action role. This is just to see kind of as a side.
Oh, buddy. I've got a 4 in that.
Yeah, you're like, oh, and another
it's-
Lady of the Lake is kind of, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the vibe
Yeah.
you're getting. It's one of her circle, for sure.
Yeah. And then the lady that was one of my ancestors and told me about the spear. She's a lady of the land, right?
Yep.
Okay. I forgot her name, but
Yep.
I think that's okay. So she's going to go up to Nineveh a little bit I think a little bit awkwardly, just because like she doesn't really actually know this woman. She just is. It's the only person she recognizes here. And she'll, bow her head respectfully and say, Lady Nineveh.
Around
It's
me.
good to see a familiar face here. Yes, yes. Hello. You're from Summerland, yes?
I am. I assumed you've passed. I haven't seen you in some time.
After Gwynedd, I left. I didn't
Right.
feel that I was worthy of being a household knight anymore. How is home? How is everyone there?
Well, it could be better. Seems that
So I've heard all around, really.
we're preparing to be invaded.
Really? I thought that, which one?
Cornwall.
Cornwall. Right, it was between you and Salisbury and another one. Are you sure it's gonna be you?
Prince Mark seemed to suggest it. And the king's men at the borders suggest a stirring. We can't be certain,
See.
but we're quite confident. That's actually why we're here.
Gathering support?
Attempting to.
It's not going well.
No. We have some mercenary aid. It's the best we can seem to manage.
I can also join. I don't get a lot of news out in the forest, but if there's a muster, I will make sure to be there.
Where might I send for you?
Blackboar Manor. It's in, and she tells her how to get there.
Mm.
If
In
it
the old
if it
forest.
helps,
Camelot
I think
Forest.
it's near a what?
Camelot Forest.
It's in Camelot Forest. If it helps, I think it's near a thinning in the Vale.
Hmm. Right. Crossover point for the Sealy.
It seems so, yes. It opens every now and then.
Very
I'm
well.
not sure if that helps you find it.
With that, the other Nimue approaches and says, "Is that the coat of arms of Lady Gwynedd?"
Yes, it is. I'm Dame Aranwe. I used to serve as a household knight in Barrowcrest. I thought it would be appropriate for me to still wear Summerland's colors here to show that it still has support.
And I'm Lady Nimue.
And she kind of like stops and lets the name marinate a bit and be like, Beatrice's little sister.
That's right. You knew her then.
She talked so much about you. Yes, yes. Oh, she was a wonderful friend. I miss her very much. Have you? She was so proud of you. She talked about you all the time, and I never got to meet you.
She smiles. She's doing well. She has a
That's good. You
daughter
talked
now.
to her.
When we can.
Really?
Or a son, actually. Sorry, hold on. Yes, son. Yep. No, daughter.
Son.
It's a daughter. It's a daughter.
A
Yep.
daughter.
Boy, she's
Goodness,
she's really all over the place.
Multitudes. Don't really talk to her that much, do you?
No, not really, actually. Indeed.
That's incredible.
Born on the solstice.
How old?
Just last year, if memory serves.
That's incredible. I'll remember she was looking for a husband. You know if she likes the one she has? Did she find a good one? All of the ones that we were finding were
Out of character.
duds.
It's gonna be hilarious.
I remember.
But,
Uh-oh.
yeah.
Is it Melwis?
No.
Is it Melwis? I've
No,
heard
It's way
tell.
worse. It's way worse for Aranmi. So.
Oh my god, is it
oh, yeah.
Cadwig? You can't do that to me, Beatrice. Okay. Hang on.
Yeah, and she's like, Sir Cadwigan seems well enough.
Hang on. I have to make a roll.
Yeah.
I have to make a roll.
Yeah.
I don't know what roll.
Make
I
it-
have to make a roll.
Would it be courtesy to not like immediately go what and spill a
Yeah.
spill a drink?
Yeah.
I think that it might be.
Yeah.
I think that it might be.
Oh,
Yes.
you can tick it.
Yeah, man.
Your training's been paying off.
It's already ticked.
Yeah.
I got a crit already.
That's right.
She kind of like hears Cadwigan and stays still for a second and goes like, "Oh, had such a rocky start. It's good that she likes him enough now." Zach's saying
She
I need to roll
nods.
for frenzy. I think it's true.
Right? But that Nimue smiles. She doesn't really know the full context there. But Nineveh will step in and say, we should be returning soon. We're not going to stay for the rest of the festivities. We have to start preparing.
Of course. Thank you for telling me about home. It was very nice to meet you, Nimue. Can you point me to an Edrich? I'm supposed to be finding
yes.
him.
She motions like with her head to him, and you see someone right there, and she describes his coat of arms. You have a flower, right? Is that it? Black flower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says, is it sable? Sable's black, right? Am I crazy? Yeah.
Sable is
Sable
black.
is a black.
Yeah. The sable flower.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And give my love to everyone at home whenever you're back there.
I will be sure to do so.
Thank you. Both. And she will head out then. I don't think I made a roll.
No.
You did
well,
make
technically
courtesy.
made courtesy. That could count. Yeah.
I did make courtesy.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll
we're
give
good
you the
then.
option. I'll give you the option because you kind of wanted. You could test intrigue. The only advantage is you get a tick on intrigue if you succeed. But if you want to stay with courtesy, you guarantee the geniality for the success. You just don't get to tick it.
Let's try intrigue. I've got a 10. There's a 50% chance I get it anyway.
Okay.
I should never tell me the odds. I'll fuck them up.
It's fair. It's fair. Well, at least you found Edrich, so we're gonna do that in between rounds. Yes, we're gonna. Would you prefer to do it in between rounds or at the end of round 2? It's your choice.
I guess in between
between
rounds,
rounds,
I've used
yeah.
up all of my turns and stuff. This is the only person I needed to talk to here. It's
Let-
people from home and Edrich. And after that, I don't know.
Card time.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Hard time, I guess.
All right. So you find Edrich. Edrich, you turn and see. When you've met Aranmi, what was it at Florence's wedding? Was that where it was?
It was a while back.
Yeah, recognize
I might,
that.
with your permission, like roll a recognize.
Recognize
I
Aranmi.
will
What's
say,
Aronwi's face is distinctive.
very
We share
distinctive.
similar disfiguring scars. My
Oh,
appearance
brother.
is 15.
Yeah. I've heard tell of your disgusting, awful, fashionable little cut across your eyebrow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's disgusting. Yeah.
With that in mind, because I did remember just now that it is a very distinctive scar, would that be... I probably would remember.
Aranwi, what's
Especially
your
because you had a
glory?
story about mugging her.
How many Lady Knights do you know? You can count it on one hand, can't you?
Yeah.
One hand.
And,
My glory is only 2,000, almost 2,500.
No way.
Really
You'd be
sad.
at we'll put you at
You'd be higher for
yeah.
a couple of years, but
probably
not
3,500.
higher.
Yeah.
Okay, I will just put it at 3,500 then. Woo!
It's probably hasn't
even
been
if I knew
updated.
that, yeah, even if I knew that Dallin was a lady, I would still be able to count it on one hand.
Yeah. Why don't you add
Yeah.
a plus? What is your recognized roll? Let's start with or recognized score. Let's start with that.
13.
Okay. We'll give you a +5. I think that's reasonable.
Oh, whoops. I added a slash where I shouldn't.
Story of my life.
Indeed. Let me roll on my laptop so I can more easily type stuff in.
Bob, what
Success.
does that mean?
You've
I
done
don't know.
it.
That's why that was the point of it.
Hey, it could work for coding. It could work for relationships.
There's so many
it could
ways
work
it could
for
work.
fanfiction writers.
There's so many ways it could work. I just wasn't sure which way.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. You recognize her. I think with this, you would have passed anyway, so you not only recognize her as a lady knight, but you remember her name. I think that was kind of what I was. Right.
Wow.
Dame Ironwe. It has been quite some time.
Yes, you remembered me. I guess most people remember me, but not really my name. It's nice to see you again, Sir Edrich.
It is nice to see you too. You left an impression last time. Your story of mugging a creature of another world and wearing his armor.
Yes, I fought him a second time, actually. A few years back.
Well done.
Yes, it was very stupid, mostly. Time alive. I need to speak with you. And she pulls out the little thingy that Dallin gave her. Sir Dallin of Blackboar Manor, of Durnford, has asked me to bring you some information we overheard.
I am familiar with Sir Dallin. I am unfamiliar with that trinket, however. That said...
Well, unfortunate.
It's probably just an heirloom from Durnford. You know, something that's recognizable.
I would not know. But in this case, Edrich will say, of course, as we go, tell you what, he will lift up a plate with some fruit and salmon pie.
Yeah.
He's going to take some fruit and salmon pie, and he is going to walk into a more convenient alcove.
And Ironwe is going to she recognizes this maneuver from Dallin, who also is good at intrigue. So she just goes along with it and says, Megan has forgotten what we were. Who is definitely wanting to make Salisbury bend the knee or yoink him?
You overheard.
Wessex.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the guys you came with. It is
The
the
came
father
with.
of Aethelin Kinrick who's sitting at the high table right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Making
God.
eye contact with you.
No, we're in an
Where
alcove.
you are.
It's fine. We and her voice kind of drops a little bit. She's learned. We've been near Wessex and we've been at feasts with them, and we overheard people saying that they wanted Salisbury to either bend the knee, pay tribute, or be absorbed. So I've been sent with a Wessex delegation to inform you of this.
Grand. How certain are you, or Dalen, that you are not meant to overhear that conversation.
Was this something discussed with Dallin?
No, but I don't think
No?
Dallin. Yeah, I think Dallin would probably have gone with the assumption that there's not really any benefit to us knowing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And also, we were just walking down a hallway and it was a closed door. So, I can't imagine it would have been a very risky move with very little benefit. I think it was probably a genuinely private conversation that we overheard.
Indeed, rather than intimidation. Very good. Sir Dallin has done wonderful work in his position as a diplomat, but the object of our foreign policy with Wessex has always been thus: to forestall their attack as long as humanly possible before the war begins. And indeed, it must be a war. It is not a surrender that we can stomach. With this, you have done me a good turn, and I shall do you one in return. You are formerly of Summerland, yes?
Yes. Barracrest.
Have you heard about their current woes?
I have just heard that they suspect they're going to be the target of Cornwall's attack.
In that case, the thing I was going to tell you to repay you for the information you have just given me is somewhat moot. I shall find something else. But you have my gratitude, and as does Sir Dallin. Thank you very much. I will inform my liege of this when the time comes, though given that the feast soon draws to a close, I imagine that time will be soon.
Is there anything... Dallin always has these maneuvers and such. Is there anything we should be doing to make it look like I didn't just sell out the people that I'm traveling with back home?
Spill your drink on me and I'll go and do something about it.
Perfect. All right. And she's going to spill her drink on him.
Down in the South Counties, we call that the Beatrice. So.
Indeed.
Yeah, we do call that the Beatrice.
Someone's at the door.
I know that maneuver. Beatrice used that on her husband, that she has a child with. And then she throws up on him instead.
Oh, incidentally, how is that person you said you wanted to murder?
He's married, my friend, so that's great. They've got a daughter.
That's why you really shouldn't wait about these things.
I find if you kill them the moment you know you want to, these things are avoided.
Yeah, Virgil
The second you want them dead, they gotta be gone. Otherwise, they're gonna marry your best friend for realsies.
Virgil should have killed that guy right when he started causing problems, but then somebody else ended up murdering his whole family, and it kind of was a bummer, you know?
Indeed.
I think Aranwi needs to get out of here. Her reckless is too high for you people.
No, it isn't. You fit right in. That should scare you.
Let's fucking go.
But yes, with that, is that all that needed to be discussed in this little sidebar?
Yes, I suppose it is.
That was Thomas, not Edrich. But
oh, all right. If I could ask the favor now, if it's doable, could you provide support to Summerlin? She doesn't know that you have already been asked this twice.
It will be a difficult thing, but I can see what I can arrange. And Edrich fully going, yes, this is the way I could pay back the favor and do the thing I was going to do anyway. I just won't reveal the fact that I already arranged it.
Yeah, and she's gonna think that you did this all for her, and Nevaeh's gonna think you did this all for her. It's all gonna work out.
Everything's coming up, Edrich.
Yeah, really, it's just my fault for having already known that first bit of information, so you're just passing the buck to the second bit of information I don't know.
Said the fate of this game never.
Indeed.
Everything coming up, Edrich. All right. With that,
to see you as well.
speaking of Edrich, we are in round 2 with Edrich.
Yeah. I think Sir Edric is going to. Okay. Now, I kind of want to inform Robert or the Lady Ellen about what I've just heard, which is essentially that the Saxons will be presenting an ultimatum if they haven't already. So I
Okay.
think I would like to swoop and whisper a few choice words.
Standard intrigue roll applies to get above the salt.
Absolutely. Success.
One thing I do like about 6th edition is there are like minimums for certain things. So you can do like, if it's not a contested roll, it could be like, but you need a 10.
Yeah,
A
difficult
10 or a
type
crit.
thing.
Yeah. Which I think you don't want to set those too high because like it's all random anyways. But anyways.
Indeed.
Yeah. So yeah, you managed to get above the salt. Who are you looking for? Because I think Robert and Ellen aren't together at this point. Ellen is actually mingling with Sir Locke, and Robert is not mingling with Kinrick at all.
Perfect. It's going to be Robert, because as much as Lady Ellen is better equipped to handle it, Robert is the Lord and also the reckless one.
Yeah.
He's got to be primed. Edric will appear and say, "Oh, Robert, I trust that the somewhat muted fare does not wear on you overmuch."
Wear on me? No, I suppose not.
I have recently been informed from a friend of mine, Sir Dallin, currently posted as diplomat towards Wessex. One of his allies has informed me that
Yes,
Aethelin Kinrick
Virgil's
has-
relative.
That is correct.
I like him so much. He
Indeed,
likes
he's
me.
great.
He likes me.
Why wouldn't he? Virgil's great. Edric will say, "They have informed me that Aethelin Kinrick has come with an ultimatum. That soon, sooner than we like, they will present us with an offer to pay tribute and kneel to their service, or to be conquered and absorbed."
One sec. Get it.
The intent is basically for him to not fly off the handle, so it's do not react over much right now, but be prepared.
Hold on.
That is why I wanted to talk to Lady Ellen.
You said Robert, yes? Or did I?
I did say Robert.
Okay.
Is that
Okay.
good for me?
I'm not telling you yet.
No.
Okay. Okay, so when you say that and you like don't react, he just locks eyes with Kinrick, and like from afar, and Kinrick kind of like looks right back at him, and he smiles and he says, "Oh no, there won't be any overreacting, none at all. They come here and they eat our food, they drink our wine, and then they threaten us. Every single year.
God.
What should I possibly overreact about, Sir Edrich?"
You are growing to be a fine man, oh Robert.
Then he doesn't go further than that, though.
But yes, that's basically all Edrich wanted to do. Everything that has been happening in Wessex has been coming here. The entirety of the foreign policy is not just to forestall Wessex's invasion, it is to make sure they attack us in a defensive war, which ideally we can win.
Okay, 2 more.
Thank you kindly. He's done his duty to his lord, and through duty you get geniality. That's the words of his house.
There you go. All right, that brings us to Virgil for round 2. What you got for us, Liam?
I need to talk to that Atheling. And I'm a little drunk for it, so I'm really excited.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what I would even...
What a series of social situations we are in.
We got to get you
I'm
to
trying
an
to
intrigue roll to get up there right now.
You have
But
a
you do have
minus
+4.
5 to
I
this.
do have a -5 to this. Does it have to be an intrigue? Can I make another attempt at something? Say a reckless check.
Yes. I think if you take a reckless check, you are blowing past the guards that try to stop you from going up there.
Yeah, he's drunk enough to do that. Let's try it.
You pile drive Edrich into the table again as you move past him. As he goes back to his seat.
Okay.
I think what it looks like is Virgil just like beelining it for Atheling Kenrick. He's not got a weapon or anything, but he's got a goblet in his hand.
Yeah.
And he's just grinning wide, and like with the guards try to stop him, and Virgil with his high strength just like shoves them aside, like not hard, but he's clearly trying to force his way through.
Robert just hears, "Oh, what in sweet hells."
Yeah, from across the room, you see that, and then Kenrick looks up to see Virgil.
Virgil waves. Still needing 2 men to try to hold him back. He just waves.
Yeah, a couple of the Gwesi near Kenrick stand up. Is there going to be a problem? So they're protecting their prince. Kenrick just nods, says, Virgil, if I remember, Sir Virgil.
How could you forget, Atheling Kenrick? Would you mind letting these apes let go of me? I want to talk to you.
He says something in Saxon, and they just quickly kind of pat down the small of your back, make sure that there's nothing sharp in metal there, and then they step aside.
Go ahead, fellas. You couldn't stop me if you wanted to. Atheling Kenrick, it is good to see you. It's been some time, hasn't it?
Far too long.
I have a feeling you don't really mean that. But I don't care that much, honestly. It's refreshing to have my favorite Saxon back here. And my friend's married to a Saxon. That's a high compliment from me.
So is your relative.
My relative?
Sir Dallin?
Oh. I wasn't aware. Huh. Well, regardless, happy for them, I suppose. Spend enough time down there, I imagine something's bound to click. After all, I know you and I have already established that our peoples aren't as different as many people try to pretend. You know,
this much is true.
One of the Saxons, a friend of ours, he seemed to be under the impression that I would make a move to speak with him. I think he was offended that I didn't. And I told him that, with as little offense attended as necessary, that I didn't see a need to talk to him because there was little chance that we'd be facing each other on the battlefield. No need to kill each other. And it occurred to me that you and the other Atheling I met must be talking about me, and with praise, considering that word traveled so fast. I wager to say you even liked me.
liked you. You stood out amongst the table of pompous Kimry.
I'm many things, but I don't think pompous is one of them. Loud, certainly. Forward, absolutely. But I don't think pompous is right. I don't think it's right for you either.
No.
In fact, I think a lot of things that have been happening aren't right for you either.
Such as?
Nothing specific. It's only that I think Wessex and Salisbury really have the best shot at being friends. Out of all of them. You know, we have a diplomat down there, and I feel like we've had a rapport, you and I, at the very least. Sure, I don't respect every Saxon, you don't respect every Cymric. But both of us know what's really at stake here, don't we?
If you mean anything other than Britain, I suppose I can't agree with you.
Well, one has to assume that Britain can be won. Britain hasn't been won by a single empire in the history of the world. There are peoples, and they've always fought and bled and died and squabbled and shouted and kicked and bit and screamed, but they never held anything, did they? Nor did they
Grandfather
take
did.
it. And where's he?
He dies as all men do. He's died as all men do.
And his kingdom doesn't feel much like a kingdom these days, does it?
No longer.
Your father's father. That's how short that was. I don't mean that as an insult. I mean that as fact. The way I see it, I'm excited. Whoever one of the Saxon tribes that have us surrounded attacks first, I'm looking forward to fighting them. There's nothing like fighting Saxons. And we've been fighting so many knights recently that I think it would be a nice break. Not because I don't respect you as warriors, but fighting other knights, it has so many complications and... Well, my point is that if I'm going to fight you, or any of your brothers, or any of the other Saxon nations on the battlefield, I'm going to do so because I want to. Not because someone else told me to. Certainly not because it's the smart choice to make. Going to war right now with each other? Ugh. Only a fool would make that kind of decision right now.
And it sounds like your little lord and his mother have some things to discuss. Our ultimatum will be clear this year. We expect tribute. Or the knee bent. Father's adamant.
Curious wording. Your father may not know it, but you know it. It's not going to come, either of them. And you won't take Salisbury, either. You might weaken us for someone else to take it, and then to take you, maybe. But all you're going to do is waste blood and bodies on, hopefully, a good fight. Now, your men might be willing to die for that. I know mine are. I wonder if you and your father have the same lowly ambitions. To die fighting a small southern county on Britain's shores. Destined for kingship. But as you said, all men just find their way into the grave, don't they?
You speak highly of the Knights of Salisbury. I suppose it might be time to test them.
It's a strange feeling. Excitement and pity at once. I named my strongest horse after you. I don't know why. I'm looking forward to riding him as I charge into your lines. Goodbye, Aethling Kenrick. I look forward to seeing you again.
And I'm gonna test one thing here. As long as it's not a crit, we're good.
That came out way.
Love to you, man.
That came out way gayer than I was expecting it to.
Hey man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ride the horse I named after you to battle. Anyway, don't know what that's about.
He almost said, "I'm gonna ride that horse to the end of the line."
Virgil, you can't say these things.
Eh.
Words mean things.
Virgil, the bishop is right there.
Yeah, he goes to
It's
get up,
something about
but his Goesi
words.
kind of keep him calm. But you haven't seen him stirred like this before. He looks offended. And then
That's
at
a
that
shame.
point, you kind of turn in Sir Bar's there, and he says, "Come on, Virgil."
Done. I'm
Virgil,
done.
you gotta get out of here.
I hope that offense comes from fear, and not because I've upset you. I respect you more than any other Saxon I've met, Kenrick. I meant it when I said you're my favorite. All right, Bar. Take me wherever you must. I'm done.
And with that, I'll just motion you back near the salt. We're gonna go with 0 geniality for the round. But we
I
want
think
kinda-
that's fair.
What a little freak.
If it
I
got,
don't know.
Keeping in mind, you succeeded on a roll, and you are above the salt. So I think 0 sounds fair.
yeah, -2 +2 balances out to 0. Yeah. And are you famously hospitable?
I am as of this year, I think. Because my hospitality went up from a tick. Yeah, I'm famously hospitable now.
It's not anymore. It's back to 15.
That's a shame. Virgil thinks he was being very polite.
Yeah.
There is the labyrinthine bureaucracy that is Sarum's castle's staff. Everyone is getting an order from the marshal to not give Virgil alcohol at these events anymore.
He has a temperate of 14. He almost never drinks at these things.
Yeah,
And now
and he's
never
not
will
going
again.
to.
I keep going to Sarum. They give me this special bracelet. I think it's because they like me there. They won't give me alcohol for some reason.
Edrich finds this one serving girl and says, "You know Sir Virgil," and she says,
yeah.
"Oh yes, I
Yeah.
do."
Oh, yes, I do.
Which
You are not to
serving
give him
girl?
alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah, depending on which one.
All of your friends.
Yeah. All right. Dame Iranwi.
Lord,
For round
that
two.
was great though. Politically, it works out.
Well, if it wasn't a Saxon, it would be a much bigger faux pas, I think.
Oh yeah.
Like if it were
Yeah.
Nanteleod's person or whatever, it'd be like, hey.
Yeah.
But
If it were
people
Nanteleod,
forgive the
then you would
Saxon
be
slights, right?
indeed.
For as much as there's
Exactly.
people that are like, oh, that's inappropriate, there's other people like giving
Yeah, it's a Saxon, who
Virgil
cares?
a thumbs up, you know.
Straight up, if Virgil spoke like that to Sir Lack, you would have to pay a weregild or something.
Okay.
All right. Amaranwi.
Hmm.
As I said, she's run out of all of the social calls that she needs to make, all 2 of them.
Yeah.
I might just use my final round on figuring out what the hell that guy was doing with my delegation. Literally, she goes, "Hey, Edrich, let's not make a scene. Anyways, here's some information." She looks away. Some guy has just gone up there and is being bodily restrained by her delegation. I think she is going to kind of make eye contact with the 2 bros that she's gotten along with, and kind of confused face.
Make a heraldry roll
They give her
+3.
A heraldry roll?
Mhm.
Okay. That's a 1 bob, just so you know, and I don't have any geniality. Just so we all understand the stakes here.
Oh.
Well, whoever this guy is.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. I will say that Dallin's heraldry is almost identical to Virgil's.
Is it
True,
though?
that's true.
Oh no, that's right, because it's Blackboar now.
Yeah.
It would have been when Dallin first met Iranway, but that was 10 years ago now. So.
Yeah, and the fumble I think suggests that she's misplaced it. Who do we?
Yeah.
Who could we
Whoever-
mistake
yeah.
this as?
This is a man of Milkfield.
Is that Goratrix? Is that
Guys.
This sounds like something that Goratrix would have done, but I can't remember.
Goratrix definitely would have gone, I'm here to fight you!
Yeah. I think maybe getting the heraldry turned around. You think this is like one of Edward's relatives?
Okay. Edward.
Tracks.
I think she knows him.
You were there when he died.
Died long before.
Yeah, he
No,
died when
you were
he died when-
there. You were there
You
when
were,
he
you were
died.
there when he died, and I think you were there when he
God.
came back.
That was your
I wasn't
first
there when he came
episode though
back.
too.
So she wasn't there when he came back, but you were there when
Yeah.
he died. That was the one with
did,
Merlin
okay,
in
yeah.
the tunnel, and where you guys had to flee the
Yeah.
battlefield,
There was a,
where Derwin
there was a
died.
lot going on there.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
But I wasn't in the episode where he died. I was in the one before that. That's why. I
yeah,
remember
that sounds about right.
Aranwi.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
We NPC'd her. Okay. Wow, that guy that died a million years ago. He's got relatives. I think she makes eye contact.
I like Thomas's suggestion better. What if you thought this was Luth's coat of arms?
Fuck this guy.
Yeah,
For real.
I think it makes more sense
For
with the
real.
fumble. Yeah, yeah. It's not Luth,
We're going to be
obviously.
so normal to him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. I think he's dead. Thank God. But okay, we're gonna be so normal to
You're
this guy though. He's her guys, her pals in the delegation. They don't know this guy, so she's just gonna like move on over and be like, okay, I'm gonna check out what his deal is real quick. She's going to come up to Virgil with some salmon and fruit pie.
Oh
and
Jesus!
She's gonna. Oh my. Yes.
Cool scar.
Most people don't call it cool. Do you mean that?
Yeah, looks sick as hell.
Thank you. Actually,
Hey, you dumped wine all over my friend. You got a problem?
not with him. No, it was fuck. I don't think she remembers if Edrich. Did Edrich tell her if it was supposed to be on purpose or on accident?
It was accidentally.
Okay. She's sticking with that story then. It was an accident. I feel really bad about it.
Ah.
You were picking a fight with the delegation I came in with. Now.
Well, they picked a fight with us, really.
Did they?
Yeah, Aethelin, Kenrick, and I are tight. We understand each other. I think,
His men were bodily restraining you from talking
didn't
to him.
I didn't say that his men and I were tight. I said he and I were tight. We understand each other. I don't care about those people. I don't know who they are. Anyway,
Right?
I was just
What
making...
fight did they pick?
Well, you can feel it in the air, can't you? They're gonna invade any
There's a
day
lot.
now.
There's a lot of invasions brewing.
Huh? And I have a feeling that Kenrick is smarter than his father is. I think he understands better. So, I was attempting to have a heart-to-heart with him. Make sure that we saw each other one last time before I either kill him on the battlefield, or his people have to retreat from our lands in disgrace before we're all killed by someone else or we hold strong for another battle after. that sort of thing.
Did it work?
Wasn't supposed to work. It's just
Oh.
supposed to be clear. I hope it was that. But I suppose it's up to him
Very
at that
intense person.
point. I've been told that a few times, yeah. You see, I've always had this buzzing in the back of my head. It only ever goes away when I'm killing someone. So, I have made good use of my time as a knight.
Say to that!
Virgil, what have we said about proper conversation?
He's a little drunk right now. He doesn't usually do this.
What's the thing to say to anyone?
I
Another
guarantee
person
you.
I don't quite recognize. I've got this voice in my head that makes me want to kill.
He would have never said any of this to a Rodway if he wasn't a little drunk. There's no
Oh my god.
there's no reality in which he says these things other than this one.
I'm gonna roll courtesy real quick.
Yeah. Okay, goodbye.
And she kind of like cartoon blink blinks. It goes, I've never heard of that. I sometimes say things that get me into fights with fairy creatures. Maybe it's similar.
Hell yeah. I love that. Honestly, I met a fairy creature once, I think.
Really?
It was, yeah, his name was Lord Alabaster. He was a real prick. I really wish that we had gotten an excuse to fight him, but he was holding a friend of ours hostage, so it didn't seem worthwhile at the time. But if he provokes us, I'm very much looking forward to putting his head on a pike.
Oh. I'm rolling it again. Okay. Do you normally say these things out loud, Sir Virgil?
Say what things out loud?
The whole, I really
Bob slowly
love
giving a
killing
Rodway
people.
a geniality.
I love killing people. I really want people to die. I've only ever felt good when I'm killing people. I want to put that man's head on a pike. I wanted to look that man in the eye one last time before I murdered him.
I didn't
Things like
say
that.
Did I?
Right.
Oh,
That's
I suppose in a sense I did.
a little. And it's kind of sounded more like that with the further context of this conversation.
Huh. What were we just talking about?
You wanted to put a fey man's head on a pike.
Ah, Lord Alabaster, that guy was a prick.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yes.
you, where are you from? You're not from here. Are you Saxon? Are you a very small Saxon?
Barrowcrest. Summerland.
Actually,
Oh, shit.
you have like a crazy size, don't you, with Arani?
Yeah, yes,
Oh,
probably.
yeah, Aranwe's like large.
Yeah.
I dumped statted her appearance, so yeah, her size is
What?
17.
Oh, you're bigger than me.
I'm bigger than you, yeah.
I think
So,
Virgil's
shit.
still saying that though. I think-
You're larger than average size, Saxon.
He goes, oh shit, Summerland, you guys are fucked.
Yes? In what way?
You not heard about Cornwall?
Right, alright, yes.
Ah,
Not sure what I'm supposed to be saying to who.
I'm
I'm
on the
hanging out in Wessex with Dallin.
I'm on the War Council.
Oh, goodness.
Ah,
Am I
yeah.
going to get in trouble if I hear things that you say?
No.
Okay.
I mean, here's the thing. People keep on acting like there's a bunch of secrets, but it's kind of fucked up because everybody already knows everything. they're just pretending that they don't. And I don't understand that. I understand a lot of the things, why people move the way they do in these situations. But everybody keeps pretending like there's things that aren't happening that are happening. Or that things that are definitely happening and that everyone knows is going to happen isn't. It wastes a lot of time, I think.
Well, for my own part, I'm very bad at this. So, if I don't know that I'm supposed to be saying something, I kind of feign ignorance until the night I'm staying with. He's way better at that kind of thing. So as long as he says that it's fine, then I stop pretending not to know.
I was like that with Edrich for a while. And then I shouldn't say that, actually.
Okay, good. Okay. She relaxes the second she learns that he actually does still have a filter.
I'm doing it right now, aren't I?
A little. But that's good, right? Because you don't know me?
I don't know, man. I feel like everybody would have a much smoother time if they just fucking kill each other and get it over with instead of all this, oh, should we or should we not? Oh, if we attack these people, then it'll make us vulnerable here. It's like, war should be fun. And this is just stressful for everyone.
Sometimes people die in wars that you like. Oh,
People.
Do you like people?
People fucking die in their beds. Doesn't matter. How many peasants die every day because they're not fed well enough because they want to give us because they give us food?
Oh
or
God!
How many Saxons do you think died on the way to the shores? On the trips here or over in their homelands? They're here because they're fucking starving over there. They want this place. I don't think war's any different.
As he continues to speak, Aranwi is kind of flagging down a serving girl and being like, I need water.
Well,
hands him
for that, why don't you roll me 2d100?
No. Wait.
Why?
Oh, we just have to see.
No.
It'll be great. Everything's fine.
We're in Sarum, are we not?
Yeah, we're in Sarum.
Oh, fuck.
Are we okay? What's going on? It's a 90.
84.
Am I poisoning you right now? Are you gonna die?
No, darling Megan. There's someone
the woman.
There's a woman that works in Sarum as a serving girl.
Who works here. I forgot about that.
And I get a +5 to lustful right now because I'm drunk.
Well, you don't know what the 2d100 is. It could
Yeah.
be something way different and
I
maybe
hope
less.
it is.
A
Virgil
servant-
hopes it is.
A servant arrives to speak to Aranmi and says, "Can I be of assistance?"
Yes. Could I have a little bit of water or something to kind of soak up the alcohol in this man's system?
Oh,
Crackers.
right. Very well. 1 sec.
Thank you so
Be
much.
wonderful.
You know, I think it started when my brother built a vineyard and a winery on our property. He did it for the money, but there's just so much alcohol there that it's kind of gaudy, you know? I don't know anything about these things, and yet I think I might be one of the richest knights in Sarum, in Salisbury. Isn't that fucked up?
Wait, are you not from Milkford?
Milkford. Well, Milkford, Salisbury now. I killed the guy who ran Milkford, Sir Leaf.
Sir
That guy was a fucking asshole.
He was a fucking asshole.
Glory Stealer.
Yeah.
I hated that man.
Oh, wait, that's right.
Never mind, we're friends now.
Edrich decapitated that guy, but I was the one who led the invasion. I'm in his fucking house now. I've got his castle. It's mine now.
Oh, that's Wow, serves him fucking right, honestly.
He was a worm, that guy. He would always would switch sides whenever suited him. He was a real two-faced bastard. And now his two faces are on one head that's off his body.
And she kind of like stops and like,
Yeah.
the fuck is this man saying? Yes, yes,
The-
okay, I understand now.
The servant arrives back and she says, "You know what? I can make sure that he's all right. I'm sure you have plenty to do."
Very little, actually. If it would inconvenience you, don't worry about it. My sister actually is a servant girl, so I know how busy you are.
As you kind of look around too, you see that there's this teenage girl. She's not dressed like a lady at all. She just seems to be standing there, kind of like her eyes are just like on you or on me. Like you feel like just a cold stare as she watches you.
Oh, a cold stare. I don't like that.
Suspicious roll.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Okay, suspicious roll. And I don't recognize her at all?
Nope, not a bit.
And
What
it's like...
What am I in?
And it's like, you know, my brother dies and leaves me everything. And I don't know what to do with that. I was just supposed to be a soldier. I just wanted to fight, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of taking your attention. Like you're struggling to pay attention to Virgil with this girl staring at you here from below the soul.
Yeah, I think she's trying to listen to Virgil, and she's also trying to tell the serving girl, like, I know how busy you are. I promise I know how busy you are. You do not have to deal with this man for me. I have nothing else to do. And then she's like, also looking at this girl.
Yeah.
Like,
she's like, no, it's okay. I can look after this.
You know who that is? And she kind of like gestures to the girl, giving her a fucking death glare.
Drowning a bandit in the water. It was just the highlight of a day that was already really shit.
Edrich Squire, I believe.
Edrich Squire? Why would she be... Do you know why she would be mad at me? I know I'm asking you a lot, but I'm not from here.
Oh, no, that's just her normal face.
Oh. That's a relief. All right. Thank you very much.
But I suppose in the end, Gorlo was a decent ruler, even if he was kind of a fuckhead.
What? She actually knows Gorlo. Hang on. Back to this guy. Gorlo.
Yeah. Yeah, the traitor count, Duke, whatever he was.
Right.
Didn't respect that man at all.
I'm not sure how much more we're gonna get out of this as like an audience, so I can let Virgil be taken away by the serving girl.
Correct.
If you want.
Correct, Bob. I'm enjoying this, but you can cut away from it whenever.
Well, no, it's all.
totally
I think it's awkward, like this awkward situation of Aranmi's like. So the servant's a lowborn. They don't really have control in this situation, but they're going to stand around awkwardly and like kind of float around the situation and keep offering to Aranmi intrigue.
Okay. And she's trying so hard to impress upon this. Do I have geniality now?
You have one.
Wow. Okay. I get to add that to my intrigue.
Constantly talking about honor and
success.
how right it is to hold to your morals, and then he works with the fucking Irish.
Yeah. So you don't know. So obviously you can tell Virgil is definitely deep into the wine. The servant girl seems. It's just weird how she seems to be like doting on the situation, like trying to engage with Virgil. You just feel awkward about it, and then you've got this squire, I guess, a lady, a female squire, just like staring at you, like with intent in her eyes.
In a way that is just her face, apparently.
Apparently, yeah. It's an awkward situation. So I think it's your move still, because technically your turn. Yeah.
What a thing that is happening with her right now. she's having such a night suddenly. Sir Virgil, are you all right? Are you like gonna be all right and okay and?
Fuck yeah, we're going to war. I'm stoked.
Wait, with who?
I don't know.
I've gotten so lost in the Cornwall
Fucking-
and the Wessex and the.
Fucking pick a direction.
This man's on the war council, she thinks to herself. Oh, great.
He's much better while sober, trust me. He keeps it hidden beneath one thin layer.
Stop that! Oh God! All right. Right.
You know, I got a friend, I think, who's a baron in Cornwall, and I just don't understand that guy at all. I think it goes back to Gorlo again, but I couldn't stand that guy either. My brother thought the world of Gorlo too, but all I could see was somebody who stuck behind his honor when it suited him best and then left it behind when it felt like he was personally wronged. I don't like people like that.
I tend to agree.
If you're willing...
She says this very confused. Every single time that Virgil says something based in the middle of his insane person nonsense, she's just like, hang on. What?
If you're willing to kill and to end someone's life, you should be willing to die at their hands too. Because that's what it is. That's the whole picture. And I think sometimes lots of knights, they only say what they think other people want to hear. You know?
I do think that I have heard a lot of knights say far more things that people want to hear than you would probably prefer.
He like puts a hand on Aradwe's shoulder and like squeezes it a little
just
tightly
reaching
and
up.
Yeah. Well, just slightly, but just enough, right? And he like looks her in the eyes and he goes, "Live with honor. Say what you mean, do what you mean. And don't be afraid to burn everything you have to make sure that when the time comes, you're proud of yourself. Because no one else is going to grant that to you. No one."
I will. And she kind of halfway means it and halfway in a like, what's this crazy man talking about, man?
Hey, did you ever tell me your name? What's your name?
Eronwy? I've, Ara Crest, technically, Black Boar also.
Black Boar. Oh, my cousin Dallin's been to Black Boar.
Your cousin Dallin...
Wait, no, my cousin
runs
Dallin of Black
Boar.
Boar. Wait a minute. You're Dallin's squirt. Wait, you're Dallin's squirt. You're huge.
I'm 34, so not really a squirt either. You're Dallin's... Does Dallin talk about Virgil ever?
No, never. Not once.
You know Dallin? You're related to Dallin?
Yeah, Dallin's my cousin. I just said that. Are you not paying attention?
Right. It's just very shocking to me. You're very different from Dallin.
Cool. I don't know. I don't know what to do with that.
Well, I guess there wasn't much to do with that. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Squirt. You
Name's Anarchy.
Okay. You are cool. They talk of you very highly.
Oh, that's very kind. Dallin said to give his love to his family here, so I'm glad that I ran into you and talked to you, even though I didn't recognize your heraldry.
Ah, yeah, it's the dark bit. With the arrow? I think
Mhm.
the Franks call it a chevron. Not really sure what that's about. But then it's the red bit, and then I've got the stars. Yeah, yeah,
That's very fancy.
yeah, yeah. You
I don't
can
know if they've
see
sold stars.
there's Perrin's wife's here somewhere. She's got the main house symbol.
Mm-hmm.
The
Has Dallin
chevron.
talked about Perin?
Yes. If Dallin mentions any of their siblings, it would have been Perrin.
Oh my god, sibling. Oh, Perin.
Sorry, cousins.
Cousins. Oh, Perin. Right. Does she know he's dead?
Dallin?
Does Iran we know?
I can
he's
help
dead?
you out
Yes.
with that.
Dallin.
He was in the feast with you.
Perin?
Oh yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
he
you
was
saw
he
his
was at
body.
a feast. You saw him die.
Oh my
You
god,
watched
wait,
him
no,
die.
yeah, no, I know that man. He died. He's so dead. He's beyond dead. I think fine. Okay,
infamous
then yeah, he
feast.
mentions Perin and she like a little bit like the little bit of good time that she was having drops and she's like, "Oh, Perin. So I did meet him briefly. He was very kind to me.
Cool.
I'm gonna go find out why that squire's glaring at me. Are you gonna be okay with this? This, and she turns to the serving girl. What was your name?
Do you have their name, Bob, or do you want me
I
to?
don't have it
I think
ready.
I have it-
Yeah.
I think I have it written down somewhere. Hang
Yeah.
on.
Because she asks the waitstaff their names because she knows their people.
Yeah.
Because her
Edrich asks
sister was.
the wait staff their names because he thinks that if he knows them, they'll be less likely to be replaced by
Orale?
assassins.
Is that right?
Lorelei might
Or
work.
Orale, I think.
Orlay sounds right.
Yeah.
I don't have it written down for some reason. Why not?
Sounds awful.
I have a
with the
lover
context.
section. Yeah, that's right. Because there were a lot of jokes about her doing Orlay. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
It was
Alright.
random. It was random.
You fucking freaks. You fucking freaks.
All right.
All right.
Can you, Orale, here? You gonna be all right with her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
That was a strange reaction.
Would you go tell Edrich I'm scared of her? No, wait, don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
But you are. So should I not leave you alone with her?
No, go find out why Edric's squire wants to kill you or whatever.
Okay, all right. And she kind of like gives him a little pat on the shoulder and moves off for that. I guess. I don't need to have a full scene. She might actually tattle to Edrich though. It'd be like
You
something he's scared of. The
you passed intrigue earlier. You kind of see them like when you go to depart, you kind of turn around and look back just for a second, and you see them like close talking, and she looks like upset, but like servants shouldn't be talking. It's whispered, but servants shouldn't be talking like that to a knight. Like they shouldn't be like, who is this commoner to be like having a close conversation with Virgil? It doesn't look friendly. It looks kind of the opposite. I think she's upset that he's like on the verge of like too drunk. You know what I mean? Like it puts him at risk, and
Okay.
she's trying to protect him, I think. So
Aw,
yeah.
Okay.
that's very sweet of my mistress.
That's
Doesn't look
okay.
sweet
I-
to
No,
the outside
no.
observer.
No.
Maybe I
no.
don't need to tattle on him then if she's looking out for him.
It doesn't look like that to you though. It doesn't.
Looks
Yeah,
like she's
she just looks pissed at him, which is inappropriate. Yeah.
Well, she's not gonna tattle on a serving girl, for doing something inappropriate because that could get bad repercussions for her. So, fuck it. If Virgil isn't gonna do anything, if Virgil's scared of her, good.
That's great.
I can figure out the squire thing, or we can move on for pacing, whatever you prefer.
No, the squire thing works. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess she's going to just walk up to the girl then. She's been told that this is just how the girl looks. So, walk up and you... Excuse me, I'm Aranwi. I saw you looking at me from across the room. Is everything alright?
They made you a knight?
Yes, I was knighted in Summerland. They do things a little differently there.
Oh.
Is that the only place they do it?
Is that the only place they do it?
You've met what? You've met Branwyn, which wasn't in Summerland, and then Dallin, who was knighted by a goblin, so...
In Summerland, yeah.
Knighted by a goblin in Summerland and also is only publicly a knight as a man.
Yeah.
She kind of like... She knows this situation. She's been here. And she's like, from what I know, one of my knights that mentored me, she wasn't knighted in Summerland, but I'm not sure where she was knighted. But you've been made a squire, haven't you?
Yeah, that was before everything happened in Heartland, Huntland. I'm Sir Edric's squire now.
So I've heard. Is he treating you well? Do you think he'll
She
knight
shrugs.
you?
I mean, I'm hoping so. I just
I hope so,
usually
too.
it comes from a lord or a lady, and he's a marshal, but he's not an earl or a count or a king. I don't know how common it is, I guess, to be knighted without those things.
Not very common from what I've seen, but we are in very uncommon times. I've gathered, and it seems like soon Salisbury is going to want as many knights as it can get, and if you're being trained to be one, it would be honestly foolish of them not to knight you so that you can start squiring someone else and they can have more knights. And I hope they see it that way too.
Do you think it would help? She looks around because this is probably something Edrich told her not to talk about at some point or another. But she's like, do you think being the bastard of someone important would help?
She kind of like thinks about that.
Give this child bad advice. Give this child bad advice.
Do
Is
not
there
give my
any way
squire
for her
bad
to know?
advice.
Is there any way for her to know whether or not this would be a good idea?
I think that borders in the realm of intrigue, is where that borders.
And even then, it feels
think
pretty
that-
subjective.
I think that Aranwi has known her intrigue skill for a while, and she's going to choose silence as a valid option, and she's going to say,
I will wait, real fast. I will throw one more thing into the mix. I don't know if it changes what you'll say, but I think in Saxon land, since Dallin has been such an important diplomat over there, they have been way more chill about keeping their gender identity secret. They don't give a fuck anymore. So, like, they're still not being forward with that, but if you wanted to use that information, you could. They're totally fine with it.
Okay.
Like, what are they going to do? Drag them back to
Yeah.
Salisbury?
I don't think it does change anything, because Dallin was still knighted as a man in Salisbury.
Mm-hmm.
They were fine with it retroactively, which is not the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Bastard, I'm not sure. I come from Summerland, which is very different from here, and I have been living in the woods for many years, so
I lived in the
couldn't
woods for a long time
tell
too.
you. Really?
And my father
which
was
ones?
out in Huntland mostly.
See, I'm out in Camelot Forest. You would be welcome anytime. Blackboar Manor, if you're ever in Camelot Forest, we would be happy to have you. There's another lady knight that I'm living with actually. She was knighted as a man.
Do you all just like group together, or how does that work?
Not on purpose. I met her as a man. But we do have to stick together a little bit. It's certainly easier to support each other because we all know what it's like to be a dame and not considered proper knights by some people. If you ever feel like you do want that support or just want to see other women knights, we would be happy to host you. As for being knighted for being a bastard, does your sire know about this? Hypothetically?
I don't know if they've had the conversation directly. Is it an assumption-based thing, Thomas?
It is. It's fully an assumption-based thing. I believe in the first conversation, it was basically like, "Do not speak too much of that."
Yeah.
But if
You know
it
what?
is
You know what?
true,
She's
then you are
gonna
welcome.
slip up here because she's not very good at intrigue. So hold on one sec.
Indeed.
Oh, girl, me
Um,
too.
Yeah, Edrich
Yeah, okay.
works her
So,
hard,
she-
but the political stuff falls by the wayside.
She says, "Well, I mean, we haven't really talked about it, but like, well, Goretrix was," and then she pauses, and she's like, "It's a relative of his that used to serve the king."
She's so me for real. Ederawi like hears the slip and kind of like, well, if it's safe to ask him, then I would say he would probably know best. I've heard that he's very good at reading that kind of social and political situation in a way that I've never been good at it. So
Right.
I think you should probably work with your sire on that one.
One last thing. What was the name of the lord that knighted you?
His name was, not sure what his title would be considered out here in Salisbury, but in Summerland, his name is Prince Malwis.
One sec.
Oh, a crit?
Yes,
The-
let me tell you about the various houses.
the prince who rides the green horse. I thought he
Yes,
was just
that one.
a fairy tale.
No, very much not. I've met him many times, and he is the one who knighted me. He's the son of the king.
Uther.
Yeah, no, sorry. Cadwy, King Cadwy, Count Cadwy for you. Count Cadwy of Summerland.
I see. You know, my grandfather used to talk about how Uther had a son once, but he said that Merlin stole him and sacrificed him to the devil.
I think Uther had a son once, and she makes like there's like a little like downward twitch of her face because she thinks she's talking about Madoc. But then there's the like, but he stole him line, and she's like, oh, I've also heard of that. I'm not sure if he sacrificed him to the devil, but that's probably differences in the story.
Well, it must be true because otherwise we'd have a prince of Logres.
Well, definitely he stole him away. That seems pretty apparent. Might not be dead though.
She just shrugs, like she's just matter of fact, and she says, thank you for this.
Of course. And as I said, you would be more than welcome in Blackboar Manor. Whenever you'd like.
Nods. Alrighty, we are nearing a close, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to get us done. Might be a tiny bit after 10:30, but we're gonna do some little vignettes. I'm gonna take just a 2-minute break here, and then we'll be back and we'll do those vignettes and then we'll close out. Sound good, everyone?
Right, I'm coming back from the bathroom.
Yeah, we'll
Yes,
be right.
yes.
I am a nobody, a bastard, and I will make sure that I will create no bastard by my name.
Because I, for better or for worse, whether I like it or not, I am no longer a maiden. I am a knight, and I hold true to that.
You protected more than that. You stood by me when others might have let my mistakes be all I really was. You helped me. You saved me. And I'm sorry I couldn't repay that favor 10 times over.
I find it offensive that they do not consider my father the clear and rightful heir.
We are
Makes
back.
sense.
We are almost done too for the night, so let's continue on with some vignettes. We're gonna have an opportunity to talk about a number of things. One of which I think will be a confirmation meeting with the War Council, but I think we'll save that for next time because Mark will be back, and then we can have Rhodri there, and we can save Aranwi from having to go through sitting on the sideline or being pulled into that. Actually, it could be fun. I'll give Thomas and Liam the choice. Would you rather have a drunk Virgil and then Aranwi pulled into the council meeting as the awkward representative awkwardly? It will be awkward. I'm sure that meeting will be awkward. Or do we want to save that for like next week at the start?
I'm comfortable with that.
It does feel like the kind of thing that would be done urgently. That said, tactically speaking, Aranwi came with the Saxon contingent, and it might look a little bit suspicious.
It would look a little sus.
Yeah.
I will also say this. I'm fine with it either way. I think Oriel's been keeping an eye on Virgil to make sure he doesn't get any more alcohol into him. I'd say probably by the time they start the meeting, he'll be feeling a little bit more coherent. But also, like, I think Virgil would be in favor of doing it sooner rather than later because of that thing that he just said about, like, everybody's always pretending that they're doing one thing when they're not doing another. Everybody knows. Like, we just had 3 conversations here that were essentially, we know we're going to war, and yet they're sitting at our tables. Like, let's just do this now. Nobody gives a shit.
In that case...
in other words, I don't care if Virgil does.
I think this should be the War Council then right now. I think that's what we should
Let's do it.
All right.
Let me just...
And I guess I've got plausible deniability since the Saxons, the Wessex contingent knows that I'm here as Dallin's representative. So
You're a
being
delegate.
pulled away
You're part of our diplomatic corps.
That's true.
Being pulled away to talk to the War Council. Well, Mary, let's not call it the War Council, but being pulled away to talk to people from Salisbury isn't the weirdest thing that could happen to me.
True.
Politically, it's really weird for Aranwi.
One sec here. And I'm just gonna cut Liam over to Sir Virgil, and then we'll do this. He's still showing his Dallin on the screen. Give me a sec. There is a way that I don't know how to do, but there's a way to set up react whatever emoji or whatever it's called, so that we can have more than one like grouping per person. That would be amazing, actually. One sec. Okay, Virgil is cut over, and then I'll change the name tag here, and then we can dive in. Sir Virgil. All right. We are cut over. So this will take place maybe the morning after the War Council or the feast. Makes sense that would be urgently enough. Aranwi, you're pulled in this morning. Your delegation's not supposed to return to Wessex until noon.
Okay, so I've got time.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
So, with that, it's a more condensed War Council, obviously. We have Robert, Ellen, and Erwin. They're the only NPCs present. Then it's Virgil, Edrich, and then Aranwi's pulled in for this matter. The matter of Wessex. Edrich, it's safe to say that you're the one that sort of asked for Aranwi to present this?
It is. Aranwi's the one who brought this to Edric's attention. It will be her who will be here.
Robert says, very well. Let us get this into session. You must be the... And you see Robert kind of look to the side of your scar a little bit, and then he kind of goes back. He says, the knight who's with our knight from Wessex.
Yes, Dame Aranwi of
Crest, and Blackboar. She's kind of
Yeah.
still trying to figure out how do I address myself?
He says, I've never heard of Sabero Crest, but this is very nice.
Oh. It's in Summerlin, sir.
There's a... Doesn't look that impressed with that part of it. He's like, oh, dismiss.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
a
fuck
little
this
bit.
kid.
Yeah. And then he kind of stops and he says, a pleasure to meet you. He looks to Ellen. Ellen's still the regent, technically, even though Robert's starting to muscle his way in a little bit here.
He's
Ellen
old
said-
enough that he won't just accept be his mother doing everything.
Yeah. Teenage boy.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, Lady Ellen says, I'd like to thank you as well, Dame Aronmi, for presenting this information. Perhaps we can hear it in your words, just to be certain that it's understood by all who are listening.
Of course. Sir Dallin and I were walking down the halls after a feast, and behind a closed door we heard voices saying that Salisbury was going to need to bend the knee, pay tribute, or be absorbed, were the options being discussed. Sir Edrich asked if this information was planted, but Sir Dallin didn't seem to even consider that a possibility, and the door was closed. There was really no way they could have known we were coming. So I believe that was a genuine conversation that we heard.
Virgil will lean forward too, and he'll go, I think Kenrick confirmed as much when I spoke to him as well.
They did
His
demand
wife
tribute
says-
again this year, she says.
Indeed.
But it came with
They-
a different tone to it.
An ultimatum.
Not spoken, not directly, but the tone was different.
If we accept... Sorry, Edric. I'm going.
Indeed.
I'm feeling better, but I'm still a little drunk.
Beautiful.
We'll hungover now.
If we accept their terms on this one, we will never break free of them again. We gave them our choice already. They have held off because they are scared of us, not the other way around.
They have held off because of the actions of our diplomatic corps and strategic tribute paid to them, though it pained us to do so. Our approach for Wessex has been leading up to now, this year, with them finally deciding whether or not to attack, and ideally fail, to try and absorb us through diplomacy or force of arms. We face a fight for our very existence, whether we submit to an invader well and truly, or if we
I have
stand
a
and
question,
remain
Sir Robert says, cutting off Edrich in this really awkward...
Fucking love
course.
this kid.
Yeah.
This kid's so cool.
Please do not swear in the
I didn't say it. That's not in character. It was in
says-
character,
Can't
but he
say
didn't say it out loud.
Lord.
He says, you say you're a knight from Summerland and you're a knight in Dallin's services. Which is it, before we continue any further in your presence? Where do your loyalties lie?
I will be entirely honest. My loyalties do, at their core, lie with my family and my people in Summerland. However, as long as Summerland is not being attacked by Salisbury, my secondary loyalty would be to Salisbury in this moment.
Gonna check something.
They seem
here
to
real quick.
be equally in danger from the same places. It seems reasonable that they should be allied together. At least for now. That's only my view.
He nods. He says, sorry, Sir Edrich, continue.
I said mostly what I wanted to say. I believe that this will be a time where Wessex and we must come to blows. Wessex and perhaps allies if they can get them in Sussex. They did not seem pleased with us last time we met at the wedding of the Lady Jenna. I propose that we take our men from the north, as we are likely not to be attacked through the garrison around Gentian, and staff fully the south and the east. The west, due to records of monsters coming and attacking Wearside Barony, we cannot leave undefended.
Erwin will pipe up at that point and say, we have the Castle of Duplain stationed outside of county in Marlborough, Gentian, and Wanderborough. Oh, I think I froze. Lost y'all. Uh-oh. Checking in. Can anyone still hear me on the stream? Oh, weird. Okay, just give me 1 second.
You guys.
I am a nobody, a bastard, and I will make sure that I will create no bastard by my name.
Because I, for better or for worse, whether I like it or not.
Yeah.
Stream stayed up. So, yeah, okay. Sorry, we might have to repeat whatever was said last, because that
Indeed.
happened.
Edrich will say, yes. If I am not mistaken, Duplain will likely be where a good deal of fighting will occur. If I am mistaken, and I can't see the map right now, that is quite close to their borders.
It guards our eastern borders, Sir Edrich.
Then that will be where a great deal of men need to go.
Should we withdraw Sir Gareth, return him to Duplain, and find a new steward of Gentian?
For the duration, yes. We will need to find one, and quickly. Not as... It is quite hard to find people as capable as he. However, our need is greater against the Wessex forces.
What about your brother?
Cynstenian. I had plans for him. Those plans were for basically him to be the CIA. But Cynstenian
He doesn't know
will
that, though,
serve
right?
well enough. No,
Oh,
he
rip.
doesn't know that.
Oh, no.
Oh, what's going on?
Oh.
Oh, no, we're losing Liam.
I am a nobody, a bastard, and I will make sure that I will create no bastard by my name.
Because I, for better or for worse, whether I like it or not, I am no longer a maiden. I am a knight, and I hold true to that.
You protected more than that. You stood by me when others might have let my mistakes be all I really was. You helped me. You saved me. And I'm sorry I couldn't repay that favor 10 times over.
I find it offensive that they do not consider my father the clear and rightful heir.
We are back with that. So Thomas, no one knows about your CIA agent plan, so that's why it's being said. So you feel free to say whatever you want here. If you say he's busy, then they'll suggest that someone needs to be found to do so. Yeah.
Indeed. I have need of Cynstenian within my own lands, unfortunately, though he would be a good pick.
Do we have a proposal for someone in his place?
I'm running through my head of good knights who can run things, and so many of them have died. Edrich says, we need someone loyal. They will only need to be there for a short time while the invasion goes by, but we cannot truly afford to lose any knights.
Lady Ellen says, do they need to be a knight?
What is your proposal?
There is a seneschal.
So long as they are noble and the people will answer to them, and as long as they are capable. They do not need to be a knight so long as they hold it in the name of the Earl.
It's Robert's uncle.
Yes, I suppose.
Yeah, I think everyone does that. Like, oh, fuck that guy. Yeah. Okay.
So long as he can withstand political pressure, that will be fine.
I forget his name. It starts with an R. It's not Rothgar. I'll think of it in a bit. It's like I forget. I really need to put that guy on screen at some point because we've been doing this for too long with him. But yeah, he's the one that was trying to get his way into the council. If you guys remember that.
Indeed, yeah. Which Edrich was like, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Edrich will say, Duplain must be staffed and defended, for it is likely where we will have our best chance at defending.
With that, Robert looks to Lady Ellen and says, are there any other matters to discuss here? Lady Ellen nods and says, the representative from Gales, Sir Locke, he proposed something to us. It's not something I wish to vote on yet. I'd like for us to discuss it further and to see if matters should go the way that Sir Locke suggested they do. He says that the county of Clarence will bend the knee by this summer. And that would put them at our borders.
Indeed.
He said that Nanteleod does not wish to conquer Salisbury. But he did suggest that Salisbury is in between them and their target.
Do they wish to fight Cornwall or to rid the shores of Saxons?
He suggests that we have a very mutual enemy right now.
That
in
we
Wessex.
do. Did they ask for vassalage, allegiance, or, as is the case with some lands, tributaries?
Only that we would open our borders and allow them to pass through.
It's a hell of a lot of trust to put in an invading army. But it would be nice to have allies.
I do not know quite the measure of King Nanteleod. But I do know this. Whatever he is, he does not wish to blaze across Logres as a bloodthirsty conqueror. If we open our borders to him and he takes advantage of that, like in the light of the long knives, he will be hated for generations. We shall discuss it further, but we have a lot of enemies and precious few friends. With that in mind, if Wessex is to attack us, Earl Robert, Regent Ellen, how do you believe that the Duke Ulfius will react if Wessex is to strike?
That is to be determined. By law of the marriage, they should come to our aid in a matter of defense. But in reality, they've lost London, and they're at the border of Essex, Kent, Sussex, and Wessex. So they're quite surrounded.
There is every chance their hands will be tied. I believe we are up to the task. With this in mind, I have been going forward with the assumption that we will not be paying tribute, that we will welcome with steeled borders and drawn swords an attack. Is this the
Agreed.
case, I ask of the council?
Lady Ellen says, even with the considerable dowry, we are running out of funds to even mobilize our own army. That's why measures were cut back at Easter and will be cut back again at Christmas.
Austerity measures. If there is any resistance, I will ensure that matters are held fast to.
Either
We are
pay-
running out of funds, but if we lose lands, we lose far more.
If we pay for our chains, then we'll never be able to pay for our swords again.
Robert says, he kind of looks around, he hears everyone else having strong opinions. Erwin's been quiet, but Robert says, yeah, actually I'll look to Erwin and say, you haven't spoken, Sir Erwin. Say your part. Erwin will add, I think this time we are unanimous. I don't say that quickly. I think that this decision will bring about war.
It will. But we have been preparing, or staving off, this eventuality for near on a decade. It is time for the chickens to come home to roost.
All right, and I think we'll cut away in that scene right there. Aranwi, you're planning to go back to Wessex for the time being? Or to Blackboar? Probably
Yeah,
Blackboar.
her plan is probably go back, report to Dallin,
Yeah.
and probably make sure she's available in case a summons to muster for Summerland does come through the portal in the forest.
Incidentally, Edrich would basically, through Aranwi, communicate, thank you very much, you've done a wonderful job, get out at all costs if you can.
Leave. Yeah, Aranwi will also be like taking any messages anyone wants to send back to Dallin. So, such as the get the fuck out of there.
If war is coming, you do not want to be a hostage.
All right.
Oh yeah,
well,
we probably
we'll
would be, huh?
We'll see where that all lands at the end of the day, but why don't we go ahead and cut away so people can get some sleep. We'll start with Thomas on the outros. Thomas and Lily on the outros.
Hello, my name is Thomas. I have been Edrich, and Edrich's had a very mixed day. Like a lot of political intrigue, and then an hour and a half of just watching Virgil like, ha, and then it's quiet just like that. But it has been an absolute delight, and it's been lovely having you as a guest, Megan.
Yeah.
I normally don't have anything to plug. However, I do this time. On Australian Tuesdays, so tomorrow, I and Mark and indeed Rebecca, who is in another of the Pendragon games, and some other people you might recognize from other things, maybe. No, Lily, stop. We are
She
in
wants
a
in.
vampire game set in the Isle of Man, and it's lovely. You can hear me with a bad Scottish accent.
It's fair.
Oh, and I'm sorry. Hi, I didn't see you there. Did you know we have a Discord? Handy dandy Discord is where a lot of you people can go and you can chat, you can shitpost, you can talk about the things that we did.
See pictures
and
of Lily.
perhaps see pictures of Lily, and maybe even join games of Open Pendragon when they are available. Bob will talk about that more.
Indeed. All right. And we'll go to Megan next, or Mark, player of Sir
Oh,
Florence.
hey, I didn't see you there. I was listening to Thomas stealing my bit because I'm Mark. Did you know we have a Discord? I'll say it again. We get shitposts of memes. You should join it. Also, I, Mark, have a vampire game taking place on the Isle of Man. Thomas does a bad Scottish accent in it.
Well done.
Thank you, Thomas, for giving me that information. I would have known it otherwise.
You're
So
welcome.
I'm Mark playing Florence, playing Megan, playing Aranwi, and I have had a very nice time with all of you. Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you again. We'll go to Liam.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I was just using our handy dandy Discord. Do you know we have a Discord? We have all kinds of fun stuff on there and alerts when we're going live and all kinds of fun things like pictures of Thomas's cat, among other things. I also have something to plug. First of all, did you know we're doing a vampire game that Mark is running on Tuesdays, Australian Tuesdays, with wonderful fun stuff. Thomas does a bad Scottish accent in it. It's great. I also have something to plug. Tomorrow, most likely tomorrow, maybe Tuesday, American Tuesday, the new episode of podcast that a couple of the Ticking Time Bomb friends are a part of comes out. We're doing an episode on Greek tragedy and some of the great Greek epics. Our first episode was on Doctor Doom. The podcast is called On with the Motley. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and also YouTube as well. Go check it out. It's wonderful. It's super fun. We've got a great cast, and if you like hearing people talk about things that they're passionate about, that's the one. So feel free to try it out, and I'll see you guys next week.
All right. I think I'm just going to zero in on talking about what's happening with Pendragon over the next while. 'Cause it's kind of a bit of a bigger topic. All of the three Pendragon campaigns and all the little side things we are doing are mushing together in one little space of Britain, which is already small. So stay on the lookout for that. When we get a little closer to some of these things happening at the same time, to avoid spoilers, we'll be running the games offline in recording mode, and then producing them or displaying them for view at normal times. So you'll probably see a week off when that happens, followed by a video that will be shown here and on YouTube. So yeah, check that out. Lots of things are happening, lots of dangerous things. War brings death, and many other things. We are nearing the end of Anarchy, the closing leg of it, as it were. So stay tuned, and we'll see you next time. I've been Bob, and this has been Pendragon, and we'll see you on Tuesday for the other Pendragon game. Take care.
Farewell.